preschool curriculum at St. Anthony develops the whole child, emotionally, academically, physically, and spiritually.
I like to draw and cut. Well, I learned about a farm.
A farm?
With animals and a farmer.
That's cool.
A cow, a dog, a chicken, and a pig. Going outside. We're playing on the playground. Playing. I like playing with the castle. Coloring.
Program. It's called the Reading Street Series. It's based around a story of the week, and in that story of the week we have 6 amazing words that they always love, and we use these amazing words all week long, and it's also found in the content of the story. There's a lot of things based on the story. Sometimes it can be a science lesson that's kind of incorporated into it, just depending upon what the topic is. We cover, one book was about shapes. So it's not only that they're getting the reading program, there's also other things incorporated into that. And we also have a letter that is associated somehow with the book, and that ties into our Letter People program, which is wonderful. And the Letter People, there's a letter of the week. They learn the sound of that letter. They also learn how to print that letter, upper and lower case. And the way the Letter People works, it works out very well because they're able to put words together quickly. They learn all 5 of the vowels, which are called letter lights because they light up words. And the order that the letters actually are incorporated, it just makes learning to read that much simpler, I think. So we have lots of early readers, and I think that I know a huge part of that is the Letter People, because the children are so interested and they love it so much. It just learning those letter sounds. We do have quite a few children that leave our program going into kindergarten that can already read on usually a kindergarten level.
So far we have done Letter People, and we have a new Letter People, and it's new L. A, B, C, and you know them, right? Mine needs to start with the letter A. That's why A is my favorite. I like J.
Why do you like J?
Because it starts with my name. My favorite letter is A. M.
Why is M your favorite letter?
It starts with my name. Mrs. T.
Why is Mrs. T your favorite?
Because she starts with my name.
Yeah. What was Mrs. T? She was
Tall T.
Tall T, that's right.
T. Because it's beginning with my name. We've learned letter persons and we draw letter persons. L.
Why is L your favorite letter person?
Because it's easy.
We learn numbers 1 through 20, and they learn how to print those numbers. We have just basic addition and subtraction skills that we learn, just the basics starting out. We have a 100 club, and it's a no pressure thing, but the kids love to do it. And if they are able to count to 100, then they're put on a tree. It's a big tree, and they get to put a banana on there, and they also get a big certificate. We have a religion series, and it's called Discovering God's World, and it's basically the children learn that God is with us always, and in all ways. They learn a little bit about the Catholic as far as the Mass and that part of Catholicism at the end of the year, but we have so many children of different faiths, and we're at that time able to share what they do at their churches and what they do at their services. So I think it's a learning experience for all of us. They get physical education class once a week, and they actually get to go and use our big new gym, as we call it, and there's a little path that goes from our building that Father Joe had built for us, and they walk over to the gym. They get that once a week, and sometimes their big buddies even come and have gym class with them, which they love. They get some exercise, they learn games, which is also good for just another listening skill, learning rules. They look forward to gym class with Mrs. Howlett every week. And they also learn sportsmanship, I think, which is very important. At least the beginning of learning how to be a good sport. So they do very well, and they have a lot of fun.
Do you know those stretches? We get to run around in circles for 5. Yeah, we play games in them, and we get to go under it, and we get to play at the beach, and then we get to go under. We do jumping jacks.
Yeah.
Run laps. Even my shoe comes tied in gym class. We get to run around. I like that we play games. We play basketball games.
The children have Spanish class, the 4-year-olds have Spanish class one time per week. And Mr. Nieto comes from the big school, as we call it, and he comes to our building. They do love Spanish class. They learn the basics at this point. Their color words, counting. They're learning the letters, and he's starting on the letter sounds, but just basic words just to keep them interested.
Los pollitos dicen pío, 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 cuando tienen hambre, cuando tienen frío. The little chicks do pío, pío, pío when they are hungry and when they are cold. And their mom, the chicken, he cuddles them and feed them and makes you feel comfortable until the next day.
Learned about colors and learned about saying stuff in Spanish.
Do you know any Spanish words?
Hola.
What is that?
Hi. Well, we were talking about the animals in Spanish class.
Do you know any Spanish words?
Yep.
What do you know?
Vega.
What's
is a
that?
cow. All different kinds of words.
Can you name anything in Spanish for me?
Rojo.
And what is rojo?
Red.
That's right.
We played a house game too, and it come with stickers, and we got to put them in their places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
We have a lot of special occasions. The very first thing that comes up is Grandparents' Day, and we do that with our 4-year-olds, and grandparents actually get to come into the classroom and do an actual activity with the children. And I like to save Mr. G for that week for grandparents, and he has gooey gum in his hair. So this year our grandparents got to come in and help them color the letter of the week, Mr. G, and learn how our smart board works and just kind of see what daily activities were like for them. And then we had also a little program for the grandparents at the end, and we all had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that day, and so did the children and the grandparents. Next up is our Halloween party, and the preschool are the actually only children in the whole school who get to dress up for Halloween, and we go to the big school and have a Halloween parade, and the kids love it. They look forward to the preschoolers coming over every year, and we parade through the different rooms and trick or treat. For our 4-year-olds, one of our big projects is the Thanksgiving feast, and all through the month of November I teach the children about the pilgrims coming over and the Native Americans becoming their friends and teaching them how to grow food and things like that here. And then we culminate that with a big feast at the end. We actually have turkey and dressing, and I couldn't do that without the help of all my room parents. And half of the children are pilgrims and half of the children are Native Americans, and we all sit down to a big Thanksgiving feast. And then at the end of that, we also have a small program. At Christmas, we have a very nice Christmas party. One of the things I really stress at Christmas time, we talk about Advent, and all during the season, the main thing I want to get across to the children is that the reason for Christmas is the birth of Christ. And I think the children this year really love talking about that, and the whole journey and into Bethlehem and the birth of Christ, and they love talking about that. I loved seeing the wonder in their eyes, because I don't think a lot of them realize that that is the reason we have Christmas. And then after Christmas, we have Fancy Feet Parade is our next thing, with the letter F, and the kids get to decorate socks, or I've had a couple of pair of house shoes decorated also, and they have their Fancy Feet Parade for Miss F. And after that, we will have, during Catholic School Week, we have a pajama party, and we review the letter P, and we have pretzels and popcorn and all the things that begin with P, and they come in their pajamas, and even Mrs. Stewart dresses up for that, so we have a good time. And we have our Valentine party, when they get to deliver their Valentines and write their names on Valentines also. We have a big field trip that we take with our big buddies, and we take that to the Louisville Zoo, and we usually have both the 4-year-old classes go together, and we take 2 buses, and all the kids get to decorate shirts that look alike, the big buddies included, and we wear those to the zoo, and we get to have lunch together, and everybody laughs because we look like the Derby parade pulling out of here, because we have grandparents and buddies and moms and dads, and a lot of people go on that. It's a lot of fun. And then at the very end of the year, we have our farewell to preschool program, and that's when they actually graduate into kindergarten and get their diplomas, and we do a program for parents of everything we've done all year, and I get to say my goodbyes to them. So we have a lot of fun.
We did a Christmas one, and we did a Halloween one, and we have done Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
The Halloween party. We go to trick or treating. The Christmas one and the Halloween one. I liked the cookies and I liked the drinks.
We have a Big Buddy program at St. Anthony's School, which I love. The preschoolers actually are big buddies with the 7th graders. The 7th graders come and visit us often, and they read to us. They come over for holidays and we get to visit. Sometimes they'll join in the PE classes with them if we can work our times out right. During Catholic School Week, they'll visit us several times. And I think that the big kids enjoy it as much as the young ones, and they learn so much from each other. It's one of the things about St. Anthony, one of the programs I love the most. It's the kids just love it.
Everybody has a big buddy.
What do you all do when you get together?
Sometimes we read books. Sometimes we give each other.
Weather permitting, we do take them out every day. That's part of what we do. I think it's important to get out and play. We have a brand new playground, and it is fenced in for their safety. So some of us play over there. When we do larger games, we also have a big wide open field, and we use that for things like kickball and different forms of games that I play when I have them with large groups. We have an extended care program. It's offered to 3 and 4-year-olds. The children who leave the morning preschool program can go to extended care, and they are able to have a lunch that's brought over from the big school, cooked by Mr. Dino, or they can bring a cold lunch. They have a little bit of a quiet time, and then the most important part of that is they are provided enrichment. So whatever I have worked on during the day, whatever lesson we've had, they work on it in the afternoon. So if there's a concept they're having problems with, we can work on that at that time. I work very closely with the extended care people, so they know if I think a child needs something, they can work on that specific, whether it's printing, reading, whatever I think they need at that time. That's a service I think so many people need, and it helps the children. It's not like a daycare setting. It's an enrichment program. I love a 5-day-a-week program because I think it gets them ready for kindergarten. It's just the routine. Even if people choose not to do the all day with the enrichment, it's still getting up and having the same routine every day, and I don't think it is such a shock when kindergarten comes along. So I just think it prepares them so much better too. As opposed to 3 days a week, there are the extra 2 days there. If you need to work on motor skills, if you need to work on reading, math, whatever the skill that you need to work on, I think that extra 2 days really helps. I think the first teacher that a child has is the most important teacher that a child will ever have. I take that responsibility very seriously, and I just want people to know that when their children come here to St. Anthony Preschool, more than anything and above everything, they are very, very loved.